welcome back. Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. Today I'm going to talk to you of another film that's been talked about so many times, and we all agree it's underrated, and now we consider it the best film out of this filmmaker's career. Unbreakable, starring Samuel L. Jackson, Bruce Willis, and Robin Wright Penn. It's a story about a man who survives a train accident, and he is the only survivor to come out of there without a scratch on him. And he meets this mysterious man who claims he is more of what he appears to be. Came out 2000, and I gotta be honest, when I first saw this film, I didn't understand what this film was about. I was a kid 20 years ago, so I didn't know. Anyway, did not know what it was all about, but there was scenes, there were parts of it that was fascinating. Plus, I loved Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson, so it was interesting to watch. My dad watched the movie quite a bit whenever it came on TV, so whenever he had the chance to kind of watch it, whatever scenes that he caught on, I just kind of tuned in with him. When he was mesmerized, I was mesmerized. When he saw a part that was cool, I was watched that part out. He thought it was cool. When he watched the movie from halfway to the end, I would watch the movie from halfway to the end, whatever it came on TV. And I just was just fascinated with the movie ever since. And as to why, what he liked about the movie so much. It was fascinating, I admit. Then the theme song would come on, and the theme song would stick with me. And I remember I had an iPod. I would listen to the main theme quite a bit. This is actually crazy. This is now a Disney slash like Universal property now, owned by M. Night Shyamalan. Well, he created it. So, but when I finally watched the movie, I thought it was good as a whole. I thought it was good. I thought it was, you know, a unique tale of superhero, and this is one of my favorite superhero movies. And M. Night Shyamalan's best. The whole trilogy he's done is best. I've done a video of basically talking about the whole movies. So I'm just doing single films, just talking about each one for each video just right now, just for the hell of it. One of Bruce Willis's underrated, but also I think one of his more subdued performances. Like this dude shows you he can really act when he really cares about it. And I think with his collaboration with M. Night Shyamalan, I think I don't know. It feels like M. Night brings the vulnerability out of Bruce Willis every time he casts him in his movies. I think he cast him really in 3 films. Actually in 4, if you include Split. It feels like you really get vulnerability out of his character, and that's something you don't normally see a lot of his movies. Um, where Bruce Willis, if he cares, does a good job of having this kind of subdued performance, but somehow is able to convey emotion through facial expression. Like, and he doesn't like when he doesn't have to yell out in a certain movies, because then there's action movies where he yells out and all that. But the way he's able to portray the character kind of subdued, but shows in his face, I think that's what it really gets it out for me. That it tells a lot that the guy is struggling internally with identity. And I find that fascinating that the guy is struggling on trying to figure out who he is. He doesn't know who he is. He's trying to figure out why he survived the not playing train accident, or maybe perhaps he does know. He's just not coming to terms that he is unique, and he just never really convinced himself, like, okay, I am different from these people, and I need to stop convincing myself that I am this kind of person, but I'm supposed to be. I'm more unique. I'm more unique. I'm born differently, so am unique in a way to where I have the abilities to do things that most people can't. And I love that theme in this film where Samuel L. Jackson, the legendary underrated villain, Mr. Glass. And for those who haven't seen this freaking movie, and I'm sorry, but this movie's 20 years old. The spoilers have been just all over the place. Anyway, anyway, Samuel L. Jackson playing the legendary uh, Mr. Glass. Mr. Glass convinces David Dunn, and he becomes fascinated with him, that he could possibly be a real life born superhero if he put his mind to it. Because the guy is indestructible, he is super strong, he is unable to get hurt, and he has the ability to sense people who've done any wrongdoing by touching them. I don't know, claustrophobic. Hey, don't touch me. Which is an interesting power, to be honest with you. Right? We about to, get on with somebody, you touch them, you see all the stuff they've done bad. I'm like, whoa, shoot, never mind, you crazy. Right when you about to get it, you touch that person, like, oh man, you murdered somebody? Bah! Anyway, Mr. Glass, Samuel Jackson, he is super smart, but his bones are fragile. He's easy to break. These two are basically the opposites of one another, and they have a connection. Fascinating. Now, this film is a slow paced film, even if it's like 90 minutes, like 99 minutes to the least, or at least an hour and 40 minutes. Because I remember the credits go by kind of quick. This was a slow paced buildup of a man discovering who he was supposed to be. I actually remember some of the conversations I had with my dad about people, and I kind of believe this too. People are born with a certain purpose for a certain obstacle in life that we or may not even know. Maybe that's judged by the amount of time we have, or maybe we have to do a certain thing, even though I think maybe that comes across with predestination. That we're here for a certain purpose. And I actually like that in some of that discussion he would have with me about that. What I really liked about this film is that I like how realistic that this movie tries to portray what if superheroes, if people discover that they had abilities to the point where you can actually do incredible things, such as possibly being a potential realistic superhero that have abilities or like a real life mutant. This shows the result of what that could be. And I also like that it's psychological a little bit because it does really test you like, is he really or is he not? And it, as the movie kind of furthers along, it does kind of point out this dude does have, he was born with certain abilities that most people can't possess. And I actually, something this movie, to the point, this movie is also sad because you have people who lack um lack something that they want to be accepted by most people. And you see the struggle that Mr. Glassface or Elijah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm spoiling this movie. Hey, the movie's 20 years old. Elijah and David Dunn goes through. You see that they just don't fit in with people. Difficult they have difficulties trying to relate to people. They have difficulties trying to feel like they matter. And you see, especially with David Dunn, he feels he can't connect to his son. He feels he can't connect to his wife because he feels he's not doing something. He's not. He feels like he's not living. The term going around, I guess in the manosphere, his purpose, because he feels he doesn't know where to go, which also impacts his relationships with the people he cares about. Elijah kind of the same way. He's doesn't know, but once he gets wind that somebody survived, one person survived a very tragic accident, he starts to believe that maybe there could be a real life superhero. I actually like that the concept that he would bring about with comic books that could imitate the possibility of real life in a way, but I mean, comic books too, I mean, they exaggerate that crap out, but to a degree, there could be some believability relating to it that it could potentially be somebody who is has the abilities of a superhuman, which I think there might be some proof or there might be something out there. I mean, there's theories, conspiracy theories that escalate that could be people out there that might have certain abilities, and that's something that's been going around for centuries, which we never have real life facts about it, but it's been speculated. The theme song is one of my favorite theme songs to any film franchise or anything ever. It's probably my second favorite. Actually, no, it's probably my number one favorite because I would hum it. Yeah, it might be my number one favorite theme in any film ever because I would listen to that thing all freaking almost every day. It actually has like a very heroic vibe to it too. And I like that they try to do things realistically when it comes to doing superhero scenes. There's really one, which I'm hesitant to call it really an action scene, of David Dunn actually doing his superhero, where he goes out and finds people that are in danger and rescues them. And I think they capture it in a very good, M. Night Shyamalan captured in a very good, realistic way. I don't mind his weakness. That his weakness is water. You know, I don't mind that. I don't mind it at all. But this is such a unique film about superheroes. And then over time, when I was, watching it, and then when Split came in, reintroducing that film and getting the high that actually there was supposed to be a trilogy, made me fall in love with the whole film again altogether, and to become fascinated with this ever since. And the movie still holds up today. And with the trends of superheroes that we've, you know, been in, I think this is a perfectly good time to revisit Unbreakable and just the other two films that ties these three movies together. Um, Honestly, I thought it was perfectly paced. Because it really does feel slow when you're watching the film, and I've seen the deleted scenes of it. Maybe I don't know, maybe like one or two. Actually, no, I think the movie was perfectly well paced. Um, and it does feel like it ends on a cliffhanger, and I'm glad that the other two movies conclude the overall series. But hands down, this is M. Night Shyamalan's best film, and M. Night is underrated. I mean, I give him props for being that director who tries to do things differently, and I respect him for that. He's an amazing filmmaker. He's bold, very bold, and I would like for superhero fans, if not, then people who just want to watch an interesting thriller, to check this film out for anybody who hasn't seen it. The movie's been out for 20 years, over like 22 years now. And people have been talking about it ever since. Actually, they've gone back to it and saying, you know what, this might be his best work. It's a very deep comic book film. Unbreakable. If you haven't seen it, where you been, brother? Where you been? Comment below, let me know. There's so many videos about Unbreakable. You are missing out if you have not seen it. Let me know what is your favorite underrated movie. And check out my other video. Basically, this whole franchise is called the Israel 177 Trilogy. I've already talked about the films, but I talked about it in one video. If you're curious, hopefully I can leave a link to that review somewhere in the video or on the comment section for you to check out. Till next time.